100 Thompson Avenue, New Jersey. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting has been called in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the Open Public Meeting Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as follows. The annual schedule of meetings setting forth the time, date, and location of this meeting was published in the Jersey Journal on July 9, 2012, has been posted on Boston Board of City Hall, has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. The agenda, to the extent known of this meeting, has been commonly posted on Boston Board of City Hall, has been forwarded to the Jersey Journal, the Record, and Hudson Reporter, has been available to the public, and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Roll call for tonight's meeting. Commissioner Irizarry. Here. Commissioner Rivas. Here. Commissioner Fernandez. Here. Commissioner Marinetti. Here. Mayor Staff. Here. That's the record fact that all 5 commissioners are present, which constitutes a quorum for the meeting. First item listed on the agenda is an item of communication, a proclamation. However, the recipient was not available to receive it. We'll move on to the second item on the agenda. Those are minutes from prior meetings for the board's adoption. The 2 meetings were held on January 15th, 2013 and January 25th, 2013.
I'll move it.
Moved by Mayor Stack.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Marinetti. Roll call to approve the 2 sets of minutes. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas. Yes. Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marinetti.
Yes.
Mayor Stack.
Yes.
At the record fact 5 A's of adopting 2 sets of minutes. Next item is an ordinance for hearing and adoption. The title of the ordinance is Ordinance Amending and Supplementing Chapter 16, Traffic, Stop Intersections of the Revised Ordinances of the City of Union City, 1996.
Anyone wishing to comment on this ordinance at this time, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. This came at a recommendation from Union City Police Department along with neighborhood complaints and residents who called about a stop sign. I believe this is the one on 18th and Bergenline?
Yes, sir.
On 18th and Bergenline Avenue. We've been trying to put up a series of stop signs on Bergenline Avenue to get people to slow down a little bit, respective pedestrians crossing the street or the motorists crossing going east and west in Union City. So far, the police department's reported it's worked well. It was put up several weeks ago just as a test run to see how it would work. It's been working well, so we'll proceed with the adoption. Anyone wishing to comment on this ordinance at this time? Seeing none?
Motion to close the comment on the ordinance by Mayor Staff. Second by Commissioner Fernandez. Roll call to close the comment on the ordinance. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas. Yes. Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marinetti.
Yes.
Mayor Staff.
Yes.
At the record fact 5 A's to close the comment on the ordinance. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Marinetti, second by Commissioner Fernandez. Roll call to adopt the ordinance. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas. Yes. Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marinetti.
Yes.
Mayor Staff.
Yes.
At the record fact 5 A's adopting the ordinance. Next portion of the agenda is the consent agenda. These are items that could be adopted by the board by 1 vote. On tonight's consent agenda, there are 20 items. The titles of those items are: number 1, resolution approving the payment of concurring claims. There are 6 items. 2 is a resolution approving the payment of claims. 3 is a resolution approving the city payroll for the period of January 12th, 2013 through January 25th, 2013. 4 is a resolution approving the library payroll for the same period as above. 5 is a resolution authorizing loading zone at 813 11th Street. 6 is a resolution authorizing issuance of raffle license number 1474 to St. Augustine Church. 7 is a resolution authorizing issuance of raffle license number 1475 to St. Augustine Church. 8 is a resolution awarding contract for poly garbage bags to Central Poly Corp. 9 is a resolution authorizing adoption of complete streets policy. 10 is a resolution appointing substitute public defenders. 11 is a resolution approving right-of-way use agreement with United Federal Data LLC. 12 is a resolution in order and liquor license disciplinary matter involving Adoro Cafe and Lounge. 13 is a resolution in order and liquor license disciplinary matter involving Park Ave Bar and Grill. 14 is a resolution in order and liquor license disciplinary matter involving La Barraquera Nightclub. 15 is a resolution in order and liquor license disciplinary matter involving Papusa No. 2 Inc. 16 is a resolution authorizing temporary adjustment of tax assessments for certain properties. 17 is a resolution authorizing a refund of redemption monies to outside lien holders. 18 is a resolution authorizing the refund of premium monies collected at the tax sale. 19 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to adjust the first quarter 2013 property taxes on certain properties. 20 is a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to the New Jersey Local Finance board pursuant to NJSA 48:3-1 et sec. Those are all items on the consent agenda, 20 in total.
Anyone wishing to comment on the consent agenda, please come forward. Just state your name and address for the record. Whatever by back of William.
Kathy Pontus, 512 39th Street. Number 9 and number 20. What is that? Complete streets policy and an application to the local finance board.
The Complete Streets policy is a policy that's being adopted at the recommendation of the city engineer, and it's going to assist the city when we apply for DOT funding. It's to assist us in the grant applications, and basically what it does is it requires the city officials and the development boards, the land use boards, to consider all modes of traffic when they're looking at applications.
To become
Pedestrians.
more bicycle friendly, Kathy, more pedestrian friendly. Hoboken
Does
recently
that
did
mean adding lanes, like
bicycle
side
lanes.
lanes?
Yeah, where it's appropriate and where they can fit in.
Because most of our streets are all parking on
They
both
are.
sides.
But in most communities, it's parking on both sides, but they still encourage bicycles and stuff like that. Hoboken just recently did, I believe, on Hudson Street in Hoboken, along other streets also.
Right, did you see how that works?
I did.
At one point, they were on one side of the street,
I
and then
did.
miraculously, they have to get to the
I saw-
other.
I did see
At
that.
an intersection?
I did. It's not something, I wouldn't do it that way, but this just encourages the grant money and stuff like that, to study that, and possibly where it can work, we put additional bicycles, rather than having the bicycles on the sidewalk, which in many cases they are right now, where elderly people and people in general are getting hit by them.
I know.
And number 20 is the companion resolution to the bond ordinance that's being introduced. It authorizes the city to make an application to the local finance board to adopt the bond ordinance that's later on the agenda.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the consent agenda? Okay, no one?
Motion by Mayor Stack to adopt the 20 items. Okay, second by Commissioner Irizarry. Roll call to adopt 20 items of the consent agenda. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas. Yes. Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marnetti.
Yes.
Mayor Stack.
Yes.
Let the record reflect 5 ayes to adopt all 20 items on the consent agenda. Next portion of the agenda is the regular agenda. There are 2 items for the board's consideration. The title of the first is a resolution approving the redevelopment agency payroll for the period of January 12, 2013 through January 25, 2013.
Mayor, we recommend that Commissioner Fernandez abstain from this matter.
I'll move it.
Moved by Mayor Stack.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Marnetti. Roll call to approve the item. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas. Yes. Commissioner Fernandez recusing. Commissioner Marnetti.
Yes.
Mayor Stack. Let the record reflect 4 ayes approving the item. The second item on the regular agenda is entitled Resolution Objecting to the Increases in the North Hudson Sewer Authority Rate Changes.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Mayor Stack, second by Commissioner Marnetti. Roll call to approve the item. Commissioner Irizarry recusing. Commissioner Rivas.
Yes.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marnetti. Mayor Stack.
Yes.
Let the record reflect 4 ayes approving the item. Next portion of the agenda are ordinances for introduction. There are 2 for board consideration tonight. The title of the first is Ordinance Canceling Certain Funded Appropriation Balances Heretofore Provided for Various Capital Projects and Reappropriating Such Funded Appropriation Balances for Other Capital Projects.
You said this is just on introduction, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'll move it.
Moved by Mayor Stack. Second by Commissioner Irizarry. Roll call to introduce the item. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas.
Yes.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marnetti.
Yes.
Mayor Stack.
Yes.
Let the record reflect 5 ayes introducing the item. The second ordinance for introduction is entitled Bond Ordinance Authorizing the Reconstruction and/or Resurfacing of Various Streets in the City of Union City, County of Hudson, New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $7,500,000, therefore, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bond or bond anticipation notes of the City of Union City, County of Hudson, New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $5,909,000, making certain determinations and covenants, and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing.
I'll move the introduction.
Moved by Mayor Stack,
Second.
second by Commissioner Irizarry. Roll call to introduce the ordinance. Commissioner Irizarry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rivas.
Yes.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Marnetti. Mayor Stack.
Yes.
Let the record reflect 5 ayes introducing the ordinance. The 2 ordinances that were introduced tonight will be considered at a hearing on March 5th, 2013 at 7 p.m. So that will be located in William V. Musto Cultural Center at 420 15th Street in Union City. Would you like to take public comment?
Sure, before we have the liquor hearings, yes. Anyone wishing to address the board at this time, please step forward. State your name and address for the record right behind the clerk.
Frank Alonso, 126 19th Street. Mayor Summer, thank you for letting Ms. Bannon respond to my questions last meeting. I do appreciate that. Also, I have a question, Mayor, who's the responsibility of the cop that's on 15th Street and New York Avenue now crossing the kids at the Colin Tower? Is that the school board or is that the city?
I believe that's our guy that's on the traffic.
That's the city side. I want to go ahead and thank you for letting go on record because it's really much easier, and my son attending that school, it's much easier for the children to cross at that corner with a cop and not so many crossing guards. I'd like for you guys to maybe entertain looking at that bus stop on that corner. You know, it's not really as bad as the New Jersey Transit buses stopping as the jitneys are stopping on that corner. In the morning, it becomes really hectic for the children to cross. Again, the police officer there is definitely a great idea, and thank you for that, because again, it's safer for our children. Again, my child being a student in that school, it's concerning for me. So I thank you. So I'd like to know, again, again, so that's not the school board, that's the city.
Yes,
Right,
it is.
cool. Is there anything that can be done there, do you know, with that bus stop?
I'll definitely take a look at it.
Because there's one on 14th and there's one on 16th. Well, 16th is not because of the firehouse, but that one on that 15th Street corner is really bad.
We'll definitely take
All
a
right.
look at it.
Thank you so
And the
much.
police officer will remain there. There was a couple mornings he wasn't there, and I happened to drive through the area, and also the acting chief Molinari drove through the area. It just didn't work. With the two schools there and the firehouse, you need somebody. We'll definitely keep
Definitely
you
the
there,
police
and we'll look at the bus stop.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next person for comment?
Can you have this start 1239th Street? With the 5-minute limit, can I just throw all the questions to you up front? In relation to the taxes, I see within a matter of a short few months, we have another chief that is gonna get 300 days. How does that work? Seeing as he left, from what I read, he left, he won't be considered retired until July. Where do these days fit into the 300 days? And what makes up his 300 days?
It's from his years that he had in the police department, happy from the terminal leave in the department. He's basically on terminal leave right now. And then the days that he has are accumulated vacation and sick time, which is something we've discussed in the past.
Right, and that's my next question. You keep talking about, and you sent this undated letter with the tax thing about the bill. When was that bill presented, and what is the status on that bill? I mean, we keep talking about it, but we need it activated.
How long did I answer this? Do you remember? 6 months ago?
Yeah, spring, March.
Yeah.
Has it gone to any conversation or whatever it is you guys do down there, Richard, and get it passed?
It would be up to the Senate President to assign it to a committee. I think the problem that you have, Kathy, I think there's several bills. I think there might be, I could be wrong in the number, I think there might be 2 or 3 bills right now, at least 3 bills that are floating around.
In reference to the same thing?
Mine being one of them, and they're looking to merge them together, but leadership, I guess, is negotiating on
So
that.
who is it, Sweeney?
Senate President Sweeney.
I asked you about the 300 days, the Senate bill. When are we getting our new tax bill, and what is the increase we can look forward
It'll
to?
be the same as the last one.
And when will we get it?
You should have it by the end of this week,
All right.
by Saturday. By Saturday, I would say.
Okay, now, he still falls under the same contracts that I have from the last time I questioned this with Charlie?
Yes.
Because he's only allowed 15 sick days a year, and then a total of 90 vacation days.
His time goes back. If you'd like a copy of it, there's no problem if you give it out.
What do I see, William?
Yeah, just submit a request.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank
It's all
you.
documented in detail.
All right, because I still have to get the one from Charlie too that we talked about. It's too cold to look at the city board.
No problem.
Larry Price, 1006 Palisade. We introduced an ordinance last time on conduct of Board of Commissioner meetings, which was to be considered for adoption tonight, but it's not on the agenda. What happened?
There was a problem with publication. Christine?
There was an issue with publication, so the ordinance was republished, and there was a statement in the newspaper that it will be considered at the next commissioner meeting, which is February 19th.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment?
to speak on behalf of the block of Washington Park that we've been talking about for some time now. My questions have to do with the range of activities that have taken place in that block of Washington Park for many years already that are established activities. And my question is, where will some of these activities, in your understanding, be taking place once the expanded field goes in? And I brought pictures so that you could, do more than just your verbal description. All kinds of family groups come to that portion of the park. That's a picture of, I'll just give these to you. You can see there's one family that comes there every Sunday night to play cricket. Teach kids how to use a cricket bat. There's several pictures of fathers with their kids. The children from the local daycare come maybe 3 times a week in the summer, and they make use of the shade and the lawn. There are a lot of people who just use that part of the park to go out and do things that aren't organized. They just horse around. But that's a valid and important use for which these parks have been created. So my question is, where in your imagining of this will people go to do these things when the space is not available to them anymore? Hoping to keep this conversation going probably until the day that the bulldozers pull up. But that is one of the things that's motivated me and several neighbors I've spoken to. Where they're going to go.
They can also use the other side of the park, which is the passive side of the park right now. They could also use the picnic area. I know it's going to be renovated by the county. I just spoke to the county administrator last week. That's going to be renovated also. I support that also. There'll also be some passive area along New York Avenue, which they'll be able to also have activity in, which would be, it would be to the south of where the small soccer field is on 2nd and New York Avenue. It would be the southern part of that will be rehabilitated, and it will be grass area and stuff like that where people will be able to go.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that, because on the plans it looks as if what was planned for that area was going to have a paved surface.
No, not at all. No, not at all. In fact, I'd like to take out any pavement that's left in the park. I'm not really in favor of pavement in parks, the blacktop, as you should say. I'm more in favor of, if you have a walkway, have either a stamped concrete walkway, something smaller, or have the pavers in there. But up at the top, it's going to be a green area.
So that's going to be a lawn?
It will be a lawn area, yes.
That's good news.
Before Tom McKen left, when he was meeting with us about it, he actually went up to the area with us and we looked at it together. And then I walked that area with several people from the Washington Park Association, and we went over that. I support doing something nicer there. I know that there's some trees that are in now, some smaller stuff that's there. I don't know the name of them, but I support doing something even a little bit nicer than that.
I know you don't like those trees.
Yeah, the small ones I'm talking about.
The yew trees.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
I want to speak on behalf of those, actually.
Okay.
The soccer players use those trees constantly. It's the only thing that provides shade near where they enter the field.
I'm talking about the smaller trees that are at the southern part. They're not even trees. They're trees.
I know what you're
They're
talking about.
about my size or a little bit bigger.
They're yew trees, and
Okay.
they're grown to their full size, and they are they're really used constantly.
I have no problem keeping them, Judy. Well, we could keep them
Good.
if we like, but we can also do some planting and more of a green area there than have the asphalt that's dumped up there right now.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I'd be willing to work with you on that. If you want to be a part of planting that up there, I have no problem doing it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Eric Dixon. I'm here representing my corporate client, the City Concerned Citizens Group, Inc. My address for the record is 116 West 23rd Street, New York, New York, 10011. If anyone's interested, I'm also a resident of North Bergen here in Hudson County. Got 3 issues tonight for discussion. The first is regarding the Port Authority granted $2.875 million, for which I'm missing documentation. Just a simple question. Did Union City actually receive this money?
We haven't received it yet, no.
Second issue, goes to the issue of this videotaping ordinance that is apparently up for final consideration at the next meeting on Tuesday, February 19th. I'm very concerned about the constitutional issues. I think I raised this 2 months ago. The recitals in this ordinance basically state that, and I'll quote, "The public has a right to participate in public meetings of the Board of Commissioners," and the next paragraph is, "The right to speak at the meetings must be balanced with allowing all persons to participate in maintaining order at meetings." There's a grammatical error and syntax in that. And furthermore, the fifth whereas clause says, "The board is concerned that videotaping may be disruptive to or intimidate members of the public and discourage them from speaking or participating during meetings." I would hope that when we have a final vote on the 19th, that perhaps we have a full debate and maybe the board can decide by its own volition to waive the 5-minute rule to allow for full public participation in this. But I'm concerned that just the tone of this ordinance as written tonight basically transforms. So we have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. These are members of the news media through which most members of the general public learn about the public affairs of Union City. And this ordinance appears to transform, it appears to have a transformative effect. It transforms not only the members of the general public to fill in this room, but also certainly the news media into enemies of the state. Not the state of New Jersey, certainly of Union City. So I would just urge that this ordinance be strongly reconsidered because it is constitutionally defective and it is basically offensive to basic principles of freedom and openness and transparency. So I just urge a strong reconsideration before the 19th, but you will be hearing from me in the 19th as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment at this time?
I guess, I just want to draw attention to something,
Name for the
Mr.
record?
Just please,
Sorry?
your name and address for the record.
Gary Pollock, 1110 27th Street. Mr. Alonso said about the buses by the school. You notice he said the buses New Jersey Transit he had no problem with, but the jitney buses he did have had issues with these jitney buses, you know, almost from the time I began here. I don't think they're safe. There are many issues. I think what we should, the New Jersey Transit is deservicing this area. We are entitled to the same services everyone else in the richer communities. It's only in poor communities that these jitney buses exist. And here he's pointing out a particular issue of safety. There could be nothing more important, all my other issues aside, than the safety. If one of these buses, which are now New Jersey Transit drivers, are warranted basically by New Jersey Transit. The people who drive these buses, these are fly-by-night corporations. One day, if they hit a child, we'll come back, we'll revisit this issue, and we'll say, you know, why did we let these people on the streets? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Anyone else wishing to comment at this time?
Yes. Joanna
If you're
Velasquez.
just coming in, please just step over here and just state your name and address for the record.
Joanna Velasquez, 619 37th Street. Mayor, I want to know a little bit more about the whole videotaping thing. Is that going to stop this whole video facade that we have going on in meetings?
No, we didn't stop them from being here, no.
So what is the purpose of?
The Corporation Council condensed.
The ordinance as introduced requires that anyone wishing to videotape notify the city clerk's office by, I believe it's 3 p.m. the day before the meeting, so that we're aware of who's going to be videotaping, and so that the mayor as chair can properly position the videotapers in the room so as not to cause any disruption. So it provides reasonable regulations for individuals videotaping. Under case law, there's a right to videotape.
I think that's a great idea, because I think we waste a lot of time in the sense of actually taking care of business, and the whole drama of everything being seen on the internet is just ridiculous. So it is nice to have a little bit of control over the situation. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to comment at this time? Seeing no other?
Motion by Mayor Stack to close the public comment portion of the meeting. Second by Commissioner Fernandez. Roll call to close the public comment portion of the meeting. Commissioner Irizarry. Commissioner Rivas.
Yes.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Ronetti. Mayor Stack.
Yes.
At the direct effect of 5 ayes to close the public comment portion.